क्या 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 नाम है? कहाँ पे डाउनलोड करिए? अब मैं उसके पास जाना भी नहीं चाह रही हूँ। वो वाली लगा दूँ जो मैंने लगाई थी उसको। मैं इससे बोलती हूँ आप कुछ मत करो, बस मुझे बता दो।
उसके लिए उसके पास जाना पड़ेगा।
तो क्या मीटिंग स्टार्ट कर देगा? मीटिंग स्टार्ट हो रखी है। क्या लगा दूँ?
देखो एनसीईआरटी कुछ नहीं दिख रही है।
नहीं उसमें नहीं डाउनलोड।
नोट्स देखो 3 ऑर्डर्स
बड़े नोट निकाल लेती हूँ।
डिविजन नोट्स।
यही आती है सिर्फ
वो तो पास में
राइज ऑफ
शुरू शुरू में ये दे दो।
गुड मॉर्निंग मैम। नया चैप्टर पढ़ा रहे थे। दो एक गुड मॉर्निंग मैम।
Vida, yesterday I did a bit of the background of the chapter 3 orders. So before we start reading the chapter from NCERT from background of the chapter. See, this I had already done with you, that the Western European society was divided into 3 orders. Which centuries we had talked about? 9th to
9th and the 16th.
9th. Because when you read from NCERT, it will become very easy for you if you know the background. Then we talked about Germanic people. I told you about Germanic people, now. What did we discuss about Germanic people? Yes, they were tribes. The 3 orders that yes, beta. 3 orders we discussed about it, that the Christian priests, the priests or clergies, one and the same thing, landowning nobles and the peasants. We also talked about feudalism that day, if you remember. Then we talked about 3 orders, little more about the orders today before we read the chapter. First order, the priest or the clergies. Understand now who all are there in this. Beta, all the people in the Catholic Church. Is it okay at that time? Europe at that time was guided by bishops and clerics. All the head priests and the junior priests, bishop and clerics. And the head of the church, we had done that term that time. It's Pope. Who was the head of the church? What was the head of the church called? Pope.
Pope.
Where did he live?
Rome.
Yes. There was a problem there. again, we had some kind of prejudice there. Women could not become the priests. And we had the monks, the church, and the society. Monks used to go and spread the message of the church all over. And we had special monasteries made for them, all this. So about the first order, we need to remember these three things. The priests, they used to run the church, which were known as Catholic Church. The kings, the society, everybody was guided by bishops and clerics. The head of the church was Pope, who lived in Rome. Women could not become the priest, and monks were the ones who spread the message. They were the connecting link between the church and the society. All the messages of the church, all the teachings of the church, they used to go and spread in the society. So there was something connecting the church and the society. Come to the nobles. They were the vassals of the kings. Okay, we are talking about the second category now.
The nobility, the clergy.
First
Ma'am,
one, beta.
clergies.
Yes, the clergies. Okay. Now we are moving on to study the second order. Although we have done this, these were the orders, just a little more about this. See, beta, they were the vassals of the king. Who is a vassal of a king? A person who has a mutual obligation. Mutual obligation means in the feudal system, we had this system that they will give military support. Vassals. Vassals means mutual relationship. What? Mutual. You help me and I'll help you. That kind of relationship they had. They also enjoyed a privileged status. They had to pay very few taxes. We had done this. They had absolute control over property. Since the king had given away all the land here and there to these nobles. So the property, absolute control on the land and the property was of the nobles. They could raise troops. They had their own army, that is soldiers and own army. In the area where they had their lands. They had their own currencies also circulating in their areas. Now imagine how powerful they were. And third order, we talked about peasants, free peasants and serfs. Serfs cultivated plots of land, but these belonged to the lord. And the free peasants, what they used to do, they used to pay some amount of revenue and then take that land for 1 year or 2 years. That is it. Till here, everybody is okay. You are okay, both of you? Any confusions?
No, ma'am.
Please read about the clergy. I'm going to discuss about the first order a little more with you. There are some words, Tithi, I've already done with you. Then I'll be moving on to Ebe. All these words I'll explain it to you. Okay. Read, beta. We'll start reading from the NCERT, but before we start reading from the NCERT, you should know a little bit about the background. It will be easy for you to understand. Read quickly. Read only about the clergies, no? The first order. We'll discuss. Finished reading, beta? Yes. Anjali Snehal, you read?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. I thought you were still reading. You did not tell. Chalo, let's start. Let's read about the first order clergies. We already discussed, beta. At that time, the most powerful institution was church only. And the head of the Catholic Church was whom?
Ma'am, bishops.
Bishops were a little juniors. Pope. Who was the head?
Pope.
Yes, the head was popes. And bishops were religious nobility. Matlab, a little junior than Pope, more people who help out Pope in religion work. So we can call them nobles related to religious work. They were called as bishops. So the head of the church is only one person. The title was Pope. Anybody who becomes the head will be called as Pope. We have this system now also. It is still prevailing. Are you aware that the system is still there? We still have popes. You know this? Although we don't have so much of power with these people.
Yes, ma'am.
George Mario Bergoglio. He is the Pope now at this present. 2013 he became the Pope. Okay. The present Pope that we have is 266th Pope of the Roman Catholic Church. So before him we have already had 265 popes. And the present one, George Bergoglio is his name. He is the 266th Pope, okay, of the Roman Catholic Church. Remember that he is the first Pope from America. Okay, we have from different places. He is from America. What is his name? George Bergoglio. And he is which Pope? 266th Pope. So we had popes, then helping the Pope, his juniors or bishops. The church played a very important role. It influenced the medieval European society. I had talked about this tax that day. They used to collect the tax from the peasants. What was the tax called as? Yes. What was the tax called? Tithe. What was the tax called?
Tithe.
It was equal to how much of the produce?
110.
Yes, 1/10. Church ceremonies copied several formal feudal customs. So there were a lot of ceremonies in the church, and they were all according to the feudal custom. Feudal custom means only the first and the second order people were invited for these occasions and these ceremonies, according to the feudal rules that the peasants, they were not allowed to enter the church, we said. So they used to follow according to that. Some Christians chose to live in isolation in abbeys. Okay, see this. Abbey is derived from the Syria. It has come from Syriac language, Abba. And what does it mean? It means father. Abbey was governed by an abbot or an abbess. See, there were some Christians who were not very happy or very satisfied with this system of pope and all. So they preferred to live in isolation. They wanted to live in isolation all alone. And they used to live in places which were called as abbeys. So this word abbey has come from Syria, Syriac language. Basically, it comes from the word Abba, which means father. So they said, we are living in the presence of Father, the Almighty Father. So there, the abbey, like church was ruled by Pope. Abbeys were ruled by abbots or abbess. What were they called? Abbots. What were they called, beta? The head of the church was? The head of the church was Pope.
Pope.
We talked about monasteries that day, you remember? Monasteries.
Yes, ma'am.
So yes, abbey is something like a monastery only. People who want to live alone, who want to live in isolation, they used to go and stay in monasteries or abbeys. And the head there was known as abbot. Head of the monastery was known as abbot, or he was known as abbey. And there also it was always the male member. Females were not allowed to go and live in abbeys, monasteries. And the head also was always a male member. So we had various people, including Christians. It was not only Christians who became monks. There were many other religion people also who did this. So this word comes from the Syriac word Abba. A person who serves as the head of the monastery is known as abbot. Anybody who is the head of the monastery. Okay, it could be any priest who could serve as the head of the monastery or anyone else. But this word abbot means the head of a monastery. Is it okay for everybody? And that too specifically for men. So we are okay with all the points about the clergy?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now let's move on to nobility. I told you about the word vassal and vassalage. That is what we are going to go into details now. Read quickly about nobility. Once you get an idea, a little bit idea about these three orders, the chapter would become very easy for you. Let me know once you finish reading.
Ma'am, done.
Okay, beta Anjali, what about you, dear?
Yes, ma'am. Done.
Done. So you read about the second order.
Yes, ma'am.
What were they called?
Nobility.
Ma'am, no.
Yes, beta. We are talking about the nobility now. Okay, we have already talked about the clergies. Very good. Okay, bache, let's read quickly. Fine, let's do this. You remember the term vassals and all that we did with you? Keep in mind those things. The word feudalism, we have done this. It derived from the German word feud, which means a piece of land. This was a division of society which started in which country first? We talked about this earlier. Feudalism started where? France. Which country, beta?
France.
Yes. And later then it spread to other countries, but it started in France. It's a kind of an agriculture product relationship between the lords and the peasants, and also between the king also. King used to give the land to lords, and lords used to further allot it to the peasants. The nobility had a privileged role in the social process, absolute control over the land. They raised troops, that is army. They were called feudal levies. So those soldiers, those troops which were with these lords, what were they called? They were called as feudal levies. What were they called?
Feudal levies.
So if you are a lord and I am a lord and we have our own troops, so each group will be called as a feudal levies. Whenever the king wanted, he used to call for these feudal levies. The king of France was linked to his people through the system of vassalage. He is linked with a mutual benefit relationship, symbiosis kind. He is giving away the lands and he is not spending anything on maintaining an army. So what simple thing, whenever he wants, he used to call these people to help him for the army. The king was accepted as Seigneur, that is Lord. So all these people, they accepted the king as a Lord, Seigneur, okay, or Lord. So what is the word which they use for the king? Tell me. Seg, pronounce
Ma'am.
it.
Seigneur.
That is Lord. What does it mean?
Lord.
Lord.
Yes. The nobility lived in manor houses. I think we had discussed this also. The houses, the dwelling place of these nobles was known as manor. We had done this when we did terms. The cavalry and the peasant soldiers were called knights. The army people and the soldiers, even the farmers who became soldiers later, they were called as knights. Minstrels and bards toured France singing tales of brave kings and knights. So we have talked about more things. Now we're going to talk about. You see some new words on your screen. Minstrels. Minstrels. Have you heard this word anywhere? See, the word minstrel is a Latin word. It means service. What does it mean?
Service.
They were basically kind of comedians, beta. Storytellers, entertainers, professional entertainers. They used to tell stories or show some juggling act, kartab dikha ke, jadoo dikha ke. Musicians, instrumentalists, all of them were minstrels. Somebody who is entertaining. So they used to entertain the people by singing songs or telling them stories, या फिर कोई जादू दिखाना or something. But the main purpose was to talk about whom? The brave knights and the kings. To talk about the brave knights, and we used to keep appreciating those people. Is it okay? So these were known as what? Remember this word? What is this word?
Minstrels.
Minstrels. Okay? Minstrels. You have another word on your screen, that is bards. They were poets. So poets are known as bards. So poets and these entertaining kind of people, they used to move from one place to another and describe the greatness of the king. They were all known as minstrels and bards. Minstrels were basically entertaining people, singing, dancing, storytelling, and bards were the poets. So any part of this, if you have not understood, please ask me. Are we clear till here? Yes, Anjali, Snehal, are we okay with this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now we are going to read about the peasantry. I'm sure once you do this, the chapter reading will become very easy for you. Let's read about the peasantry, and once you finish, tell me. See, we already talked that these poor peasants had to give a tax to the church. What was the tax called?
Ma'am,
Tell me.
tithe.
Yes. And imagine these poor people also had to pay a tax to the king also. So we are going to talk about that tax now. Read it.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, Peter.
Ma'am, so today was the tax they only paid to the church.
Yes, that was only to the church. Like we had discussed in the
Okay.
beginning, that all taxes, all the burden of taxes was on these people only, the third order. So these poor people, they had to pay so many taxes. So that was, and imagine that was equivalent to 1/10 of their produce. So think how much they are paying the church only. Either they had to give the production 1/10 or the equivalent value of that. Lot of exploitation. Lot of exploitation actually. Let me know once you finish reading. Anjali, Snehal, once you read, let me know, dear.
Ma'am, we have to read till new monarch.
Peter, we'll read before that part, factors, wala. Factors we'll take up separately. Have you read till
Okay,
then?
ma'am. Ma'am, just
Factors,
a minute.
take your time, let me know here.
Ma'am, done.
Okay, Anjali, what about you? You also read?
Yes, ma'am. I have also done.
Okay. So we have already talked about the first two orders. They were clergies and which was the second order we just talked about?
Nobility.
Yes, beta, nobility. Now we are going to read about the third order, the peasants. That day I told you about two kinds of peasants. What were they?
Ma'am, free peasants and serfs.
Yes. Who were the bonded slaves?
So,
The serfs.
Yes, they were the serfs. So you remember a bit about it. We are going to continue with this part only. We are going to talk about the peasantry. Good. See now. Peasants and serfs were two kinds of cultivators we had. Free peasants labored for cultivating the lord's fields and to provide labor rent. They used to pay rent. We have already talked about this. They paid a direct tax called tele to the king. Now there is another tax which they have to pay to the king. What was the name of the tax? Yes, tele. What is this tax called as?
Tele.
Tithe and tele, two main taxes. Tithe goes to the church and tele goes to
King.
who? Yes, to the king. Remember this, huh? Two main taxes, tithe and tele. Tithe goes to the church and tele goes to the king. And both these taxes, the peasants only had to pay. They only had to pay both the taxes. And the European monarchs were called as new monarchs now. The Anglo-Saxons had a great council which the king consulted before imposing any tax. See, beta, apart from these taxes, whenever the king wanted, he used to impose more taxes also on these people. We have already talked about the two main taxes which they were paying. What were the name? Tithe and?
Tele.
Yes, beta. So this they were already paying, poor peasants. Apart from this, whenever the king wanted, he had a council, Anglo-Saxons. Okay? See, beta. See, this is, there's a council which the king used to consult, Anglo-Saxon council, and he used to impose any tax that he wanted. He could impose new taxes on these people. On whom? Yes.
Ma'am, the peasants.
Peasants. So this developed into the parliament with the House of Lords, its members, the Lord and the clergy, and the House of the Commons. Now we had a council there. It's almost developing into a parliament. House of Lords. House of Lords will have only whom? The Lords and the clergy. And the another group that we have is the another one is called as the House of the Commons. So we have kind of two councils now. One is the House of Lords, in which only the first two orders were included, the Lords and the clergy. And the second is the House of the Commons. The English monarch Charles I ruled England from 1629 till 1640 without calling the parliament. He did not even call once in his entire reign. If you see 1629 to 1640, he ruled for about 11 years and not even once did he have a meeting. Because if we have a meeting, then we would have both the houses coming there. The first house, which is Lords and Clergies, and the second house, that is House of Commons, he never called a meeting, single meeting. Whenever he wanted, he used to just discuss with these people, his own council, which was made up of Lords and Clergies, and whenever wanted, he used to impose taxes on these poor people. He never called these people, never their view was never taken, their opinion was never taken. Factors affecting the relations, first was the environment, second is the land use, new agriculture technology and urbanization. We are going to talk about this a little more details. So this is not of much importance. Let's talk about this. Towns. Okay. What were cathedrals? Let's read this. Cathedrals. It's a common word, still we use it for churches, but specifically, what is a cathedral? Red beta?
Just a second.
It's okay, bache.
Ma'am, done.
Okay, Anjali, what about you? She's also left. Very good. This is a nice style, huh? I don't understand. Better don't join only. What is the point? Okay. Tell me, Beta, what did you read about cathedrals? Tell me,
These
that is it clear?
cathedrals,
Yes,
yes,
Beta,
ma'am.
speak.
Ma'am, the cathedrals were built in the 12th century, and they were large churches, and they were built mainly in France. They belonged to the monasteries and were built out of stone. Cathedrals became the centers of pilgrimage as many people used to come and worship there, and they became more and more populated too. Many small towns developed around them, and um, the glass that was attached to the windows was stained. That means that they had some kind of drawing or art on that, and when the sunlight would shine through them, it would radiate, and the after sunset, the lights of the candles would make them visible to the people that were outside. The stained glass had stories from the Bible through the pictures.
Yes, Beta. Very good. So this shows what? That church had a very important role in what? The society at that time. Okay. Cathedrals were very, very important, integral part of the society at that time. The churches, they were very important at that time. Very, very significant parts if you see. Cathedrals. See this. Very large churches built in France. These belong to the monasteries. They were built of stones, you already told me. The area around the cathedrals was more populated because people used to keep coming there. So it became like a center of pilgrimage. And small, small towns also developed around then. You already told me we had stained glasses used for windows. So what was happening in the daytime? Sunlight would make those glasses shine. And after sunset, they used to light candles. So from outside also, people could see. So the stained glass narrated the stories in the Bible through pictures. We had all over pictures of Jesus and other incidents related to his life. Two of the more well-known monasteries were those established. I think we have already talked about this monastery, Saint Benedict. Okay,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
the Cluny in Burgundy. Cluny. This is the last topic we are going to do today. Then you can read beta crisis of the 14th century. Economic expansion slowed down, and this happened because of three factors. In the Northern Europe, by the end of the 13th century, the warm summers of the previous 300 years had given way to bitterly cold summers. First, there we had warm summers, and all of a sudden, the summers also were very cold, and seasons for growing crops were reduced by a month. So the season change was so drastic that the crop failure took place. So economic expansion slowed down. This was one. Second was trade was also hit. Agriculture was hit because of a sudden change in the season. And trade was also hit by a serious shortage of metal money because of a shortfall in the output of silver mines in Austria and Serbia. They had silver coins, but silver was not coming from Austrian Serbian mines. So there was a shortage of currency also. This forced the government to reduce the silver content of the currency and to mix it with cheaper metals. Because they were not getting silver in a large amount, what the government did is they mixed cheaper metals with silver and brought it into the market. And the third point over here, ships carrying goods from distant countries had started arriving in European ports. The ships came with rats carrying deadly bubonic plague infection. Now, these ships, because they should travel for months and months, and there were a lot of eatables on the ship, so rats, there were a lot of rats on the ships. So these ships used to come and they used to stand there at the European airports for quite some months. They used to unload and then again take the fresh load, but by the time the rats used to run away into the nearby places, and there was a infection of the plague that is called as the Black Death, bubonic plague. This is all, just read these 3 points. Why did the economic expansion take place? Just tell me this. And then you can also leave, Bacha, hardly a few minutes. If you want, you can read for a minute and then tell. Tell me 3 reasons for slow economic expansion. Yes.
The three reasons for economic expansion was in the Northern Europe, the warm summers of the previous 300 years had given away or turned into bitterly cold summers. This drastic season change reduced the produce of the crops, and the seasons for growing crops were reduced by a month. Number two, trade had a severe shortage of metal money because less amount of silver was coming from the mines in Austria and Serbia. The government was thus forced to mix silver with cheaper metals so that it could reach the demand of money. Ships that were carrying goods from other countries had arrived in European ports. These ships also had various deathly rats in them, were carrying deathly rats, which started the plague infection, also known as the Black Death.
So these were the major issues of concern that we had at that time, or you could say major problems which cropped up before them in this century. Okay, Chal, that's
Yes,
all
ma'am.
which today.
Ma'am, I have a doubt.
Yes, dear. Please ask.
Ma'am, it is said that there was a severe shortage of metal money due to the shortfall of output of silver. But ma'am,
Yes.
why do we need to create more currency if we say that the money was traded among or bartered among each other? I mean, the money keeps rotating. So why do we need to create more of it?
Beta, see, we have talked about ships just now. Did we talk about ships? So
Yes,
that means
ma'am.
we are having trade with what? We are trading with other countries. We are trading with other countries. And when we trade with other countries, normally what happens is barter system is not successful. They will not take things in turn. They will never take this because they are coming from far off places. They just come to sell things and make money at a specific place. As it is, barter system had reduced. When we started, we said that the main thing in this time was that we have barter system going down and currency coming up. So now the government had to reduce the silver content because they did need to pay those foreign traders who were coming to trade with the country. They were coming from other countries. So what they knew is the currency, France currency. That is all. They were just concerned about France currency. So they had to be paid. They will not take in return anything for barter system, especially the international traders. For them, government had no options apart from this, that they had to develop some currency made up of cheaper metals also. But they could not let the reputation go that yes, we have silver coins. So they mixed some cheaper metals with the silver coins. It was basically for international trade only, dear.
Okay, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Snehal. See you then. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
You can join your class.